Hi, I'm Mark, this is Mark's Tech Blogs on YouTube, and today I'm going to bring you guys a review of the Philips 2300 LatteGo automatic coffee machine. So this is a bean-to-cup coffee machine from Philips, which also boasts a QuietMark. And this coffee machine can make espresso, coffee, cappuccino, and also dispense hot water. And it's something that I purchased for myself. Now the RRP, if you look this up, is about £500, but you quite regularly see it on sale on places like Amazon for £350. This means it isn't a cheap kitchen appliance, but if you get your use out of it, I do think bean-to-cup coffee machines pay for themselves because you spend far less money on coffee beans than you do on little pods. I'm also aware this is a slightly unusual review for this channel because I normally review smart home tech, but as someone who runs off coffee and I couldn't find many reviews of this machine, I thought I'd share that with you guys on this channel. Now at the time of recording, I've been using this coffee machine for about 4 weeks, and it's being used every single day because I do work from home. And I actually got it to replace my DeLonghi bean-to-cup coffee machine, which I'd had for about 5 years. And in this review, I'm going to share with you everything you need to know about this coffee machine from Philips. So I'm going to talk about the design, the full spec, setting it up, and what it's like to use on a daily basis. Alongside that, I'll also talk about maintaining this machine. That means it's going to be a long review, so I'll put some chapters below so you can navigate to the part of this review you're interested in. And let's kick off and talk about the design. So this coffee machine isn't small by any sense of the word, but it's also slimmer than my previous coffee machine. The design has a mostly black body with a water tank on the right hand side and then a silver front. This isn't bright silver, it's a slightly darker silver, which I think looks really nice. The top of the machine has space for some espresso cups, and then the back has a bean container. This has a pretty good capacity, and because it's transparent you can see when you need to top it up as well. It's also in here you can adjust the grind settings with a knob here. That lid has a rubber seal which helps keep your beans fresh. There's also space here to put in pre-ground coffee if you do want to make it with pre-ground coffee. This isn't a feature I have tested. Coming back to the front of the device, you'll find the water dispenser, which is also where the LatteGo attachment fits. And then you'll find the coffee spout as well, which is adjustable. At the bottom, you've got a drip tray which pulls out when you need to empty it. And behind that drip tray is the space where the coffee grounds get disregarded to when they're used. Moving to the top of the front, you've got this touch display which lights up. Now these buttons are printed with backlights and not an actual screen, although it does look a bit like a screen. This gives the whole device this really nice modern look. And I think it looks fantastic on my kitchen worktop. So let's move on to spec. So firstly, this is a 15 bar pressure coffee machine. It has 3 programs built in for different types of coffee drink, so that's cappuccino, espresso and regular coffee. It also then has a program for hot water only. The LatteGo attachment also allows it to froth milk straight into your cup when creating something like a cappuccino. In terms of warranty, it comes with a 2-year warranty. It's also worth noting for the cleaning machine that it has dishwasher safe parts in it. That means you can put things like that drip tray and the grounds tray in the dishwasher. Now one of the more interesting things we should talk about with this machine is the QuietMark label. And that's actually one of the reasons I decided to pick it up. Now Philips say this machine is up to 40% quieter than an average coffee machine because of their silent brew technology. Now comparing this anecdotally to my previous coffee machine, I'd say that when it's grinding the beans it is certainly quieter, but when it's making the coffee it's not noticeable. That's because it's still forcing water through and it does still make a bit of a noise. This isn't a silent coffee machine, it does still make noise, so make sure you expect that, and I'll try and throw in some clips of it making noise about now. Continuing with spec, that ceramic grinder does have 12 different settings you can adjust for different fineness levels. The machine also has an auto shut-off feature, which means if you leave it on, it will eventually turn off. And you can adjust this time if you want to using the instructions in the manual. Now the espresso and coffee options allow you to make 1 or 2 cups at a time, which is great. And then all of the drinks let you easily select the strength and also how full you want your cup to be with 3 different fullness settings. For things like coffee and cappuccino, it also remembers your last selected settings, which is great for coming back to it and getting a drink just as you want it. That water tank also has a 1.8 litre capacity, although very slightly less by the time you put in the water filter. The first water filter is included in the box. And actually this water filter feature is really good, because Philips say this means you need to descale it less often. Now of course how often you have to descale it is going to depend on how hard the water is where you live, and you do put in the water hardness settings when you do set it up. Philips do say, however, if you replace the filters when they need replacing, you'll only have to descale this machine every 5,000 cups. Now this is great because my previous DeLonghi machine in our hard water area needed descaling about once a month, and the whole process was just a bit of a faff. When you do need a new one of those water filters, an official Philips one will set you back £14, or for £13 you can get 2 compatible ones off Amazon. I will link both of those below. This means even if you get the official Philips ones, it's still not a massive expense. The other expenses to keep in mind with bean-to-cup coffee machines is the ongoing maintenance. So firstly, Philips recommend cleaning the brew group once a week. And you can do this one of 2 ways. You can do this by removing it and rinsing it under water and then leaving it to dry, or you can use their coffee oil tablets in the machine. Now if you do use these tablets, it costs £8 for a pack of 6, and Philips do say you need to use the official ones. Now this isn't something I have tried because I think rinsing it is cheaper and easier. And then the other piece of maintenance to keep in mind is that you are going to need to lubricate that brew group every couple of months. The instructions on how to do this are found in a manual, but also on the Philips YouTube. You get some lubricant included in it, and when you need some new lubricant, it costs about £6 for a tube, so it's not expensive at all. And all of this makes this a really affordable machine to maintain because you don't even need to buy a descaler often. It's also worth noting that Philips readily sells spare parts for this machine. That means if you do need a new brew group at any point, that will cost you £55. If you need a new water tank, that will cost you £34. If you want a new drip tray, they're about £22. This means it's easy to get spares through the Philips website, but also that spares are affordable. And whilst you hope you're never going to need them, when I had a Beko bean-to-cup machine years ago, I found that the brew group broke and the only way I could get it going was to wrap plumber's tape around it. This worked for a few months until it completely gave up, but Beko did not sell spare parts. That means when I do look at things like this now, I do look to see if you can get spare parts and how affordable they are. Luckily, this one ticks the boxes for that as well. So let's talk about setting up the coffee machine. So setting up is best done by following the Philips YouTube video on how to set it up, which I will link below. The process will take you about half an hour from when you open the box to when you're ready to make coffee. This basically involves unboxing and removing all of the travelling tape. You then set the water hardness, you fill up the water tank and install that water filter, and then you do a few other things as well which are outlined in that video. Once that's done, you're good to go. So let's get on to the bit you're probably wanting to hear about and what this coffee machine is like to use, because I have been using it for about a month. Now I work from home and so it has been used quite a lot over that month. And generally my choice of drink is just a regular black coffee, although I have used it for all of the drink settings in the process of trying to review it for you guys as well as using it. I've also used it as my sole source of hot water when making tea or hot chocolate. And I want to talk about 2 different things when it comes to using it. I want to talk about time in using it and then also taste. So firstly, let's talk about time in using it. So when you first switch on a machine, it will go through a warm-up cycle. This will involve flushing a bit of water through, and you can also hear that brew unit moving inside. This takes literally just under a minute. And once it's done that, the lights turn static and it's ready to use. If something's gone wrong, there's a variety of warning lights that can light up on that panel as well. For example, if it's run out of water, you'll see a red water one there. That obviously means you need to fill up the water tank. And in using this, I found the best way to fill up a water tank is just to pull it out slightly and then use a jug or a bottle just to fill it up like that. I find it's easier to spill that water when you're putting it back in if you've taken the whole thing to the sink. You'll also see if you've got that water filter installed that the Aqua Clean light is lit up. This will obviously change if that water filter needs changing. There's also 2 other warning lights to tell you about. There's an error light, which I've not seen lit up yet, which is a good thing, and then there's also the coffee grounds empty light. This will tell you when the coffee grounds need emptying from the inside. When it comes to knowing if a water drain needs emptying, it's simply got a little red bump at the front that will rise up above the grid if it needs emptying. What I tend to do is empty the grounds at the same time as the water, and I tend to find the water fills up quicker than the grounds, so I've actually only seen that grounds line once. In terms of using it, it's also worth noting that that coffee spout is one of the most adjustable coffee spouts I've seen on a coffee machine. That means it can go low enough for an espresso cup, but also high enough if you've got a massive mug, although certainly not up to Sports Direct mug standards. The same goes for the amount of coffee it puts in a cup if you go for the fullest setting up a box. It fills your cup up enough to add milk if you want to, but actually for me drinking black coffee, it fills it up enough for me to have a nice full cup of coffee. When it comes to using it, if you want to make a coffee or an espresso, you press the button once for 1 cup or twice for 2. The lights will light up accordingly to what you've asked for. If you do find the amount of liquid coming out on the fullest setting is too much or too little, the instructions will tell you how to adjust this. You can also adjust the coffee temperature if you want to as well. With both of these settings, once you've adjusted them once, you don't need to do them every time. It will remember. And if you need to restore it to factory defaults, you can also do that by the instructions. Once you've made your selection for coffee, you just hit the start stop button, it will grind your beans and create your drink. It will stop automatically when it's done. Making a large cup of coffee from start to finish takes about 1 minute and 20 seconds. The same goes for the cappuccino when you use that LatteGo thing. And it leads nicely to talk about that LatteGo system. And actually it's one of the things that has impressed me the most about this coffee machine because it is so simple to use. Firstly, you fill it up to the milk levels as indicated for the drink you want on the side of it. Then it simply clips over the hot water spout on the coffee machine. This lines up the spout from the LatteGo with where your coffee is going to come out from the brew tap. This also clips on really easily. You then of course put your mug under, select cappuccino and hit start. Now don't be confused by the name LatteGo because it's actually more of a cappuccino go. This machine can't make lattes. When you hit start, it will firstly froth up your milk and make that go into the cup. It will then add that shot of espresso on top, just like a cappuccino should be made. And this is impressive and it works well. It's also really easy to clean the LatteGo attachment because you simply remove it, get rid of any excess milk, and then just clean it through with some hot water. And then finally, if you do just want hot water from this is really easy as well. All you do is place your cup under the hot water dispenser, press hot water and hit start. In about 2 seconds, it'll start giving you hot water. Now when you've got enough hot water, you then hit that start button again to stop because otherwise it will keep going forever. Or until the water tank runs out. Now for hot water, it certainly doesn't come out as quick as using something like a water dispenser or a kettle, but actually it's perfectly fine for making a cup of tea or a cup of hot chocolate. And actually I'd go as far as to say it's perfect for hot chocolate because you can continuously stir it while it slowly fills up and make sure everything gets mixed properly. I also think it's probably more efficient than using a kettle because it does just heat up the water you need. That means for the last month when I've been using it for tea and hot chocolate, I'd say it's actually better than using the kettle. The other thing I would say is that it's not going to replace your kettle if you fill up your saucepans with a kettle because that would take forever. And all in all, when it comes to using it, the machine is really well thought out and easy to use. So let's talk about the taste, because that is probably the most important thing. And of course, taste when it comes to coffee is very subjective. It is down to what you like and what you enjoy. And because I work from home, I've got a lot of use out of this machine over the last month. And what I'd say in using it is that the taste for me is pretty much spot on. I drink black coffee a lot of the time and it's just a really nice cup of coffee that you get from it. I tend to go for the middle strength setting because I find that is about right. But of course, between being able to change the strength and the grind settings, you can get it right for whatever your taste is. I also find the coffee has a nice cream on top and is an ideal temperature. I've also on a few occasions made an espresso and I'd say exactly the same thing. It makes a really nice espresso. And then finally, in the interest of this review, I've also made a few cappuccinos with it. Now I don't mind a milky coffee, but it's certainly not my drink of choice. It does, however, make a really nice milky cappuccino with plenty of froth on it. And it's especially impressive with that LatteGo thing because you didn't have to wave a jug of milk under a frother for a while. It just did it for you. And actually that LatteGo attachment makes it so easy to make a cappuccino that this coffee machine has made more cappuccinos than my DeLonghi ever did in 5 years of use. And that's because it's easy to use and it's easy to clean. But we should say, are there any downsides? So firstly, that on-off button could be a bit more responsive in my opinion. You do have to get your finger right over it in order to get it to turn on. Bizarrely, it seems to be slightly less sensitive when you want to turn it off though. And then secondly, that grounds full light can come on when the grounds aren't full. That means you just have to empty what's there and put it back in again. And it's happened to me once in the last few weeks, so it's not a big deal, but it is just something worth noticing, especially as I've seen on Amazon reviews that other people have found the same. But I have been putting this machine through its paces, so it's been used on average 3 times a day for coffee and then for tea and hot chocolate on top of that. And other than those 2 tiny things, it's performed really well. So we should talk about the verdict on this coffee machine from Philips. And as someone who works from home, a bean-to-cup coffee machine is a household essential for me. And compared to pods, it might be more expensive to begin with, but it creates less waste in the long term from plastic pods. But it also saves you money in the long term because a pack of pods is far more expensive than a pack of beans, and a pack of beans lasts longer. You can also pick up whichever coffee beans you like, rather than being limited to whatever pods you can get. And in using the Philips 2300 for a month, it's very difficult to fault this machine. It makes great tasting coffee, it looks good, and it's also relatively compact compared to some other coffee machines. There's also nice extra features like that QuietMark when grinding, and also the large water tank with a water filter in that means you don't have to descale it as often. As I said when talking about specs, I also really like how easy it is to get spare parts for this, and also that those spare parts are relatively affordable. And I think this is something really important to note when you're spending a lot of money on a kitchen appliance. If you guys got any questions about this coffee machine, do stick them below. If you do want to pick up one of these machines, I'll put a link along with a link to all of the things I've talked about in this video down below in the description. Those links will be affiliate links, so if you use those links and make a purchase, that just helps this channel out at no extra cost to yourself. This isn't my full-time job, I don't get paid to make reviews, and I never take sponsored videos. If you use one of those links, it does just help me out. If you've got any questions, stick them below and I'll answer those for you. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, Subscribe to my channel and I'll see you guys again soon.